Klaus. Could you please introduce yourself and Rhebo?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me. So my name is Klaus Mochalski. I'm the founder and CEO of Rhebo. I've been with the company from the beginning. We started the company in 2014. And myself and the team, we have had a strong background in IT security. So I started out in a technical role, but then I quickly took over the responsibility also for our sales operations, which started in the beginning of 2016. So I have a good overview of both our technical solution, but also of what's happening out in the market through the many customer interactions I have.
Thank you. Really interesting. And what has been the evolution of utilities cybersecurity regulation in Germany, and how Rhebo evolved to fit these regulation requirements?
Yes. So the cybersecurity regulation for utilities, or let's say for critical infrastructures or operator as essential services, as they are called according to the EU NIS directive, has really shaped our business. We started out in 2015 doing initial pilots with the manufacturing industry. So for instance, we had deployments with the automotive industry. But then with the transposition of the NIS directive into national law in Germany and other member states, we have seen a huge uptake in demand from operators of critical infrastructures, especially utilities. And so we started selling significantly to utilities for the first time in 2016, actually. This is when we signed up our first utility and energy customers. And since then, this has been a growing part of our business. And today, just in the last day, about 3/4 of our entire revenue of our entire business was coming from this area. So this means that it's not only just the sales focus, but you can also see it from our product. So our product today has a pretty strong focus internally with regard to specific technological features on this market. And this is something where we keep investing.
And you know that in Italy and Nordics are the only two region in Europe where we are already at second generation of smart metering for electricity, for example. And we are building up a network with millions, 56 millions, if I'm not wrong, of IoT devices. And then we have a lot of threat for this. How Rhebo could help to protect Italian utilities on this path?
That's a very interesting question because until our interaction with Landis+Gyr, our cooperation with Landis+Gyr, we decided to stay out of this specific market because it's let's say from a hardware or systems perspective, it's a very closed market, and you need to have very close cooperation. And from our perspective, this is a huge chance with the close cooperation with Landis+Gyr, because despite smart meters are very secure inherently, because there's lots of regulation which you have to adhere with regard to development standards, encryption, authentication. But what we can provide on top is we can basically use this huge network of smart meters deployed in advanced metering infrastructures to provide monitoring capabilities as a software add-on. And this is exactly what we are working on with Landis+Gyr today. And this is not only for the residential, but also for the more industrial market. So where smart meters are, for instance, used to monitor wind parks, solar parks. And here we can deploy our software on the smart meters and basically provide anomaly detection, OT monitoring of any cybersecurity events through this existing smart meter infrastructure. And if customers have our device already installed to monitor their central assets, like their central control system, their substations, then they can seamlessly tie in the data coming from the advanced metering infrastructure. So it's a reasonable incremental investment, but it will hugely increase the coverage of the monitoring system across the entire infrastructure. And at the end, cybersecurity legislation is not asking to protect certain critical assets. It's asking, or it's demanding, to protect the entire critical infrastructure. And so everything needs to be included. And this is what we can offer with the integration into the AMI.
Yeah, I mean, this will be really a key topic. It's already a key topic for the future, and in Italy, how to protect such large IoT network. I mean, not only for metering, but we are building up so many network, not only in energy field. Sorry. You will make a speech on Italian National Conference, Cybersecurity, Energy Utility, within Enlit exhibition in Milan. Could you anticipate core topics of your speech?
Yes. So, of course, it will all be centered around cybersecurity legislation, because this is a key driver. And although security is something every company should invest in, independent of legislation is still a huge driver, because it has very specific demands also with regard to systems being deployed. So, for instance, in Germany, there's a specific clause demanding to install intrusion detection systems, OT intrusion detection systems. And we help our customers to fulfill these demands. So this will be a part of the topic. But I just don't want to speak only about legislation, because everybody can just look it up. I mean, it's sometimes complex, but what I really want to do is to tie the specific points in legislation which are relevant to what we are doing with our customers to real world experiences we have collected over time from our customers. So I really want to share some insights of what happened over the past couple of years at our long-term customers, what we've observed, what the statistics are, how many threats they have encountered, so that it's not just the news headlines, but that it's really and reliable statistical data that you can operate on. And that's something that we have for quite a number of customers in Europe and in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. But I believe that what we observe at these customers will be very similar to what we expect to observe, for instance, at Italian customers.
Thanks a lot, Klaus. I'm sure it will be really an interesting speech, and I invite all the people listening to this interview really to come on Enlit and be sure that they attend this, because there will be edge technology on cybersecurity. Thanks a lot, Klaus.